Hello, everyone. Welcome to another informative technical analysis of the XAUUSD. After a highly profitable week, I'm so excited to provide you with another fresh new perspective on the XAUUSD chart through a comprehensive price action analysis. In this video, we will be exploring trend lines, key levels, and chart patterns to help make informed trading decisions based on historical price movement. But firstly, I would like us to take a quick review of the key moment from the previous week, building upon our previous analysis. So let's get started without any much delay. So, talking about last week, we had the situation at the beginning of the week where price action was actually trading below our weekly key level at the 1935, and we had a very simple flat channel to work with when we saw price action ranging between the 1928 and the 1922 level. With our sell stop and buy stop order placed at both ends, we had our buy position triggered, and that did not last long before we were taken out of that position, leading to the breakdown of that ascending trend line to trigger our first sell position for the week. And in fact, throughout the course of the first half of last week's trading session, it was more of selling the XAU USD. And not until the second half of the week that we began to see some bullish traction. Let's see where that started. Okay, around this area, we begin to see some bullish traction. And on Friday's trading session, we were able to position ourselves just right above the 1905 level to take advantage of a bullish move. And in fact, we were able to maximize that bullish opportunity by added more position to our existing trade, had a breakout retest of key structures like the 1910 and the 1913.50 level to give us over 300 pips on that single buy move. So it was quite a very profitable week for us on the XAU USD. And if you do want to review these commentaries for educational purposes, I will be dropping the link to this commentary in the description box of this current video. And if you are watching this from my YouTube channel, you will definitely be seeing it at the top right hand side of your screen. So, with that being said, here, let's dive right into the business for this week. And the first thing I did here was to quickly go through the higher time frame, the daily time frame to be specific. And on the daily time frame, this was what I was able to identify after taking into consideration the activities of price action since the month of October last year. And in fact, one thing you will observe here is that price action has been bullish. And to emphasize that, in fact, I have a couple of ascending trend lines here, which price action has consistently respected to emphasize the strength of the buyers at this point. Now, the key moments in this on this current market structure is that 1900 level, which you can see here. And one thing about that level is that it shares a confluence with that ascending trend line that I identified there. And as soon as price tested the 1900 area, we begin to see some bullish traction during the second half of last week. Now, if we compare this level to what has been happening around that area in the past, if we go to as far back as the beginning of this year, you will see how this level has been a major determinant of price action. We saw the buy pressure around there. We saw the breakdown retest of structure here. We saw price break out of that level during the month of March. And right now, we can see that price is back at that level, which also shares a confluence with that ascending trend line. So at this point in time, you would agree with me that we are at a critical point where anything could actually happen. And if buy pressure continues above the 1900, we'll have no other choice than to join a trend continuation to the upside. That means price action will be respecting that ascending trend line one more time. However, if we do have a breakdown of the 1900, we are likely going to be looking out for selling opportunities that will push price probably back into the major ascending trend line or even break it to the downside. So, in order to have a better perspective into what is really going on around the structure here around the 1900, we need to scale down to a much more lower time frame. And to do that, I scaled down into the 4 hours time frame where I was able to identify a simple setup that we are going to be using to guide our trading activities for this week. And right here on the 4 hours time frame, I was able to take into consideration what has been going on in this market in the last couple of weeks to decipher and project what to look out for. Now, on this time frame here, the first thing I did here was to observe, to acknowledge the fact that price action has been bearish. And after connecting the series of lower highs, we have a beautiful descending trend line to work with. Then, in addition to that trend line, are these key levels which I identified here. But the most important level I will be using to guide my trading activity for this week is the $1,912 level. And as you can see, since the second half of last week, we saw how this level has been a major determinant of price action. It was initially a buy niche at one point on Thursday, then on Thursday 2 weeks ago. Then last week we saw how it was a buy niche on Tuesday. Then throughout the midweek of last week, it was more of selling along the 1912 until on the final day of last week, we saw the breakout of both the trend line and the 1912 to emphasize the likelihood of a reversal pattern at this juncture. And with the situation I have here, and for the fact that price action has broken out of this descending trend line for the first time in the last couple of weeks, for me, I want to see this as a sign that the trend line may no longer have the capacity to continue to negate the bullish momentum. And as a result of this, I will be using the 1912 level as the neckline for this potential reversal pattern, where depending on how price action reacts to this area will determine what our next line of action will be. Now, one of the things I'm going to be looking forward to this week is to see price probably come back, retest the neckline or the ascending trend line, followed by buying pressure on my lower time frame to incite the next phase of bullish momentum in this particular market. However, if we see a situation where price drops below the 1912 and continued selling pressure leading into the breakdown of that 1893, which is also close to the 1900 area we identified on the higher time frame, then we might be looking out for opportunities to sell the XAUUSD. So I would like to pause the video at this point in time and let's wait to see how participants in this market will be reacting to this current structure to determine what our next line of action will be. But trust me, I'm going to be with you in the comment section as usual as we get prepared for the new week to give you an update on what I think will happen from this current structure. If you found the content helpful in making your independent decisions on the XAUUSD for the coming week, kindly support the project by giving it a thumbs up. And liking the video is valuable to me and it helps the algorithm push the video to a wider range of traders who could find this material useful to them too. Thank you as you do so. If you haven't already, consider following me on this channel. Subscribing ensures that you never miss out on the latest ideas I share, as you will receive notifications whenever I upload new videos and commentaries. I look forward to seeing you in the comment section on Monday as we get prepared for the new week. Do have a wonderful evening, everyone. Bye bye.